Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I thought this would be the perfect picture, the perfect image, the perfect screenshot to make as the backdrop for this video because it really shows how far this game has grown in less than 3 years. In November of 2019, 1,000 6-star shards for compensation was actually a pretty big deal. A 5-star crystal, in general, was a huge deal. Now, revives and potions, we expect those now. Those haven't really changed at all. 5 revives sounds familiar. 15 potions sounds much better than familiar. Normally we get 5. And then it was 2,000 glory, couple of Alliance Quest potions, couple of Alliance Quest health potions. You can't see them, but if I get rid of my screen for just a second, you can see those right there. Compensations are great. They're appreciated. And we've been promised a huge one that Kabam appears from a few signs to finally be delivering to us sooner than later. Maybe even this weekend. You never know. I'm not going to hold my breath, but some theorize it could be as early as this weekend. The problem with compensation in this case is that it's not for a maintenance outage like 2019 was. Or 2018, or maybe even 2020. No, the compensation that was promised to us, and that I hope really is the biggest we've ever seen for a variety of reasons, started the big promise in like October or November of 2021, and it started because the belief, the hope, the assumption was that the game would finally be fixed, because we've had such bad parry and dex issues amongst so many summoners, by the way, on both the Google Play and iOS side of things, from very old phones to the newest of phones. We just assumed that the game would be fixed, and they promised it would be fixed by October or November. And then, of course, now it is May of 2022. And there are a lot of theories behind why it's taken so long. Obviously, the number one theory is a fact. The game was not fixed in any way until now, but we're going to get to that in a moment. But besides that, Kabam could have, in theory, given us this compensation in, say, mid-April. But what was coming out toward the end of April? Oh, yeah, Act 7. Act 7. And the last thing they want to do is give you any revives and potions on top of the normal stuff to be able to spend less units, less money to clear content. I'm actually surprised that they would give us a ton of potions and revives. I wouldn't be surprised about crystal shards. I wouldn't be surprised about certain kinds of potions like Alliance Quest. But the potions that you can use to take down the Eternity of Pain, that's what I doubt they want to do, because that's one of their biggest money makers that they assume is going to be worth a bunch of revives and maybe even credit card swipes with units for people who don't have revives any longer. Why do I say that? Well, I say that because, unfortunately, we live in an era where Kabam feels that even if players deserve compensation, it needs to be stalled because they need to maintain, when they roll out new content, that they're going to maximize their profits. Now, I say unfortunate because it's unfortunate for the player. I get it from a Kabam's perspective. But here's the danger. This is why I'm making this video. The game is so broken right now, especially with Battlegrounds, that we've got people every day literally messaging me saying, "Prof, the game is so bad that I have to time and anticipate bugs during fights." My man, The Exit, one of the best editors, if not the best editor I've ever had submit to the channel. Shout out to Outdoors Guy 311 and Fujitac, among others. Grass joins that short list after his video recently. But he said now, when he parries, he can't assume it's going to work, and he has to almost build into his fighting style a delay before he dashes forward. Because how many times have we tapped the screen, it not registered, or my personal favorite, it'll say parry, but it won't actually do what parry's supposed to. It won't stun the opponent, and then you hold or unhold block. Now, I'm actually lucky that I actually saw that because I still blocked. I just didn't stun the opponent. A lot of you are telling me that your game is so slow with inputs that not only is there crazy lag, but even when there's not lag, it doesn't register that you tapped the screen. So you don't block and not get a parry. You just don't block. So you just stand there and face block, with your face, and it ends up causing you to be knocked out rather quickly. Even if this is the greatest compensation of all time, even if there's multiple 6-star Nexus, maybe even a class-based 6-star Nexus, since Kabam values that so highly, 6 stones, awakening gems, the record amount of glory, like you name it. Which also, random tangent, I wish there was a way, if they did give us these potions and revives, that we could claim the crystal shards and the 6 stones, but not the revives yet, because the smart thing to do would be to not claim the potions and revives until you absolutely need them for the Eternity of Pain. But the problem, of course, is that if you can't claim half of it, you either claim all of it or none of it. So most people, including myself, and this is for content purposes, are going to claim it and open it right when it hits. But it's still going to be the case where you could have some things that expire if you don't use them. With that being said, the temptation is going to be to freak out so much because the compensation is so beautiful. All this free stuff in your inbox, how could you not celebrate it? And I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate it. It's nice to get free stuff, especially when we've been waiting months and months and months and months for it. But that doesn't mean just because we get something nice, we should automatically ignore the problems that still exist in the game and that Kabam is not wanting to address, and maybe they want it to distract us from the shiny thing. This is going to trigger some people. I grew up with a single mom, so my mom was never married. I have a crazy conception story that most people don't even believe it could be true because it's literally that crazy as to how I was born. But quite a few of you, unfortunately, come from divorced households. And there's this belief that before you tell the kids that you're getting divorced, you got to give them one nice Christmas. You got to spoil them a little bit. Well, this is, as weird as that analogy is, and sorry again if that's triggering people because I'm sure that was pretty personal for some people. This is like Kabam trying to convince us that the marriage has never been stronger with the game, even though there are so many cracks in the foundation, that here's a bunch of nice presents, just ignore the cracks. Just bring up the compensation. And there are going to be people, because I've done videos this week, even the last 24 hours, of problems in the game. And there are people already who are like, who cares? We're getting compensation. I think that's a horrible perspective. No matter what the compensation is, especially if it goes into people's inventory overflow, which most likely it will for a lot of these items, no matter what the compensation is, that's not going to save the person's enjoyment of the game if they keep getting knocked out in Battlegrounds or knocked out in Alliance War or Alliance Quest when they're just not able to even register that they're tapping the screen. That doesn't do that player any good. And I would not be serving that part of the community well if I'm just so excited about compensation, which I'm sure is going to be great, or at least I hope it's going to be great. I guess I shouldn't say sure because then that gives ultimate trust in Kabam, and I have major trust issues because of that. But regardless, it's just, it's a warning. The game has shown flaws, from cheaters in Battlegrounds to lag and input issues, you name it. And because of that, we need to continue to keep Kabam accountable for fixing their game. And no compensation package, no matter how great it is, should stop us from continuing to report problems. So that is my plea to the community. I want to make sure that this rant didn't come close to 10 minutes, and we are already almost to 9 minutes according to my recorder. So let's stop it now. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.